All right, let's be real. Sometimes your brain just feels like a messy sandwich. There's too much going on, stuff slipping out the sides, and no napkins in sight. That's where therapy comes in.
And we're not just talking about screaming into the void or trauma dumping on your sandwich artist. We're talking actual therapy with someone who knows what they're doing. And lucky for you, BetterHelp, our paid partner for this episode, makes it easy to get started.
No waiting rooms, no weird therapy office smells, just a quick questionnaire and boom. You're matched with a credentialed therapist in a couple days. And if it's not a vibe, switch it up faster than you can switch up your sandwich sauce.
So if your brain feels like a chaotic group chat, do yourself a favor, go to betterhelp.com/thinkfresh or hit the link in the description for 10% off your first month. Your future self will thank you.
Breadheads, down Eric, back in the booth.
Wow.
Wow.
Hold for sound. Nice. It was peaceful for like a good 20 minutes before we started recording, and then Sprinter van just snuck up on us. These nomadic van lifers have gone too far, Ty.
Dude, why are they ripping through the school zone like this? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, dude. Think Fresh Academy, it's 30 only in this school zone, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got to move slow because we're thinking slow.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's such a beautiful day. We got the windows down in the podcasting booth. The birds are chirping. The sun is shining. The bread is toasting. My stomach is digesting. And we're back in the booth. So everything is as it should be.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right about that, Ty.
Oh, I know I'm right about that. Yeah, I know.
There's no debate.
There's no debate. This is objectively a wonderful day.
Yeah, we are absolutely disturbing the peace in this beautiful, historic Vancouver neighborhood right now.
Mm-hmm. Coming to you live.
Coming to you live, dude. Recording in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ty and I had a fucking movie of a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Started our day at Subway.
We did. Wow, I can't believe we did that, actually.
Yeah.
So, first time in Subway in like 8 months.
At least.
Yeah.
It's been a while. The last time we did it, it was warm enough outside for t-shirts. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, you're right. Something about the warm weather brings us to the way.
Yeah, dude.
It activates us. We're
1,000%.
sleeper agents waiting for the sun.
1,000%. I don't know what possessed us to go, but I'm happy we did.
Something about Friday, you just want to let loose a little bit, you know? I haven't had a vice all week. This has been such a placeholder week, you know, filler episodes every day. So I just really needed a meal, 12 inches of sandwich to give me the motivation to carry forward.
Mm-hmm. Some head in a comfortable bed.
Exactly.
But you know what?
Maybe this will fix me.
Whenever there's a week like this where like nothing happens, I find that I'm actually like a worse version of myself.
Same.
Because I will just have a like dinner beer every day. You know what I mean?
Just because you're just trying to feel something, right?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I did nothing today, so
yeah.
I will have a beer. It's like I need to do something every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's a really great habit. Like if say we're like, even if we're partying weekly, that's just once a week, and then the rest of the week I'm like on my P's and Q's, you know?
Yeah, it does beg a important question, Eric, which is it better to drink one beer 7 days in a row or 7 beers one day?
That's
and I don't really know. I got to ask Brian Johnson about this one.
Yeah, dude, he might have a like hernia if you told him that you were drinking 7 beers in one sitting.
Yeah. Well, I'm just built different.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you feel? Okay, 8 months since we walked in a Subway. We have been there many times outside. We've looked in the window. We've talked about the facade. We've watched other people open the door and enter the abyss. But you and I ourselves, we have not entered.
Mm-hmm.
How did it feel to you?
I felt like it's like when you are traveling for business for like 6 months straight, and you finally touch down at YVR and you kiss the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it felt when I opened the big, beautiful green and yellow doors at Subway. That Subway smell just wafts over your hair and face, and you just think like, I know where I am. I'm home.
I love that. Dude, in 2025, I am kissing the pavement. I am clapping for the pilot. Anything to get wheels down safely.
Exactly. In this era where all planes are kind of landing upside down.
Yeah.
And, wings striking. Yeah, it's you gotta pray every time you board.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Touch the outside of the plane for good luck.
every decision comes with its risks, and we weighed the risks today when we walked in the way, and
Mm-hmm.
we emerged thankfully unscathed.
Mm-hmm. And if you're eating Subway while listening to this, I pray for you.
Mm-hmm.
I pray for you, and I hope you got Mojo sauce, because that's something that we weren't able to get today.
I wanted to try the new Mojo sauce so badly, Eric, and we didn't have any. It's insane.
It's insane because they have the huge laminated sign blocking all of the sauces. Like, you got to get on your tippy toes. I saw Ty like really climbing on the sneeze guard just to get a glimpse of what mayos were available.
It was so annoying. I couldn't see a single sauce, and I am an average height male, which means most people can't see that sauce.
Just to be clear, he is an average height male, and yeah, dude, I don't understand why they're advertising a sauce that they don't have.
Yeah,
It's not like it ran out. Like, they never had it. they got the signage, but not the sauce. Like, what the fuck?
dude. And as I was squinting over the Mojo sauce advertisement to see what sauces they did have
Mm-hmm.
in inventory, there was one bottle that caught my eye. The lid on it, you know how the lid will say like yellow mustard or sweet onion? The lid
Yes.
said, "Ask your artist."
Yes.
So I point at that one. I say, "What's that one?" And you know what my artist says? Mayonnaise.
What the fuck?
Dude. And then I say, "What?" Because I didn't hear him. I couldn't hear him with his
Hold on.
accent. And then he's like, "Mayonnaise. It's like light mayo, but it's full mayo."
Gotcha.
Yeah, thank you to the artist who clarified that one for me.
Yeah, I did hear that interaction go down, and I did hear you go, "What was that?" And then the artist like said mayonnaise, and you were like, "Oh, mayonnaise," like you hadn't seen that before, like you don't know what that is.
Ugh.
And I thought it was kind of funny because obviously he said it in a funny accent.
He did. But he also said it with this like smugness, like he was sharing a secret with me I shouldn't know.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard of mayonnaise?
The other thing, you always like to chop it up with your artist, which I respect, but the other thing you did was clarify what the tandoori spice tasted like.
Mm-hmm.
You asked if it was spicy, and our artist didn't really have the answer, but then the manager kind of stepped in and cut him off.
Yeah,
And he said, "It's a little bit tangy and spicy."
he did say that. He did, yeah. Dude, he sold it. Tangy and spicy. I was down immediately. Give me a squirt.
Oh, man. So you got it.
Yeah.
You got a line of it, and it looked pretty thick.
It was I could tell he was using all 172 muscles in his hand to squeeze that bottle.
Yeah. It looked like almost a spreadable. Like almost like a kind of like a whipped butter. That's the consistency I would assign to it.
Close to cream cheese, actually.
True. Yeah, cream cheese, or like a toothpaste almost. A little bit harder than a toothpaste. Maybe like Marvis. It's kind of like the Marvis.
It is kind of like
consistency.
Marvis. Yeah. Like it keeps its shape when it lands on the bread.
Yeah.
Whereas some sauce just melts like an ice cube. This is, you can see the line.
Yeah. So you got like 3 sauces, Ty, and if I remember correctly, you got tandoori, you got ranch,
Mm-hmm.
and you got one other kind of freaky one. What was that?
No, just sweet onion, bro.
Oh, just sweet onion. Okay.
Yeah, because the tandoori, he said it was tangy, but I didn't trust it was tangy enough. I knew it would skew hot.
That's crazy.
And-
You called his bluff.
Yeah. And you know, I've explained this many times before. The trifecta for sauce pairing is you want to go creamy, spicy, and sweet. You want to get all 3.
Creamy, spicy, and sweet.
Yeah.
I call that tangerang.
Tangerang. Shout out to Skrillex. Yeah, dude. Today was a tough one at Subway because I couldn't see the sauces. The veggies didn't look good. Usually,
They just
like,
looked kind of gray today and
They
sad,
did.
but it was all right.
like I was looking at the beautiful picture of the red onion on the wall, and then I looked down at the red onion in the bucket, and it's neither red. It's like gray onion, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look very yummy. The cucumbers looked real beaten up. They looked like they had taken a few hits from Jake Paul. Then, dude, the worst was the tomatoes, because I saw the tomatoes and I saw one of the slices sitting on the top of the tomato had like a weird brown speck on it. And I was like,
What?
I don't know what that is. But then I said, I'll take some tomatoes.
Did you get the one with the brown speck
Yes,
on
the
it?
breadhead immediately put the one with the brown
The
speck
breadhead?
on it. Or sorry, the sandwich
He is a
artist.
breadhead.
He
That's
likely
for sure.
is. Likely.
If you're listening to this, fuck you.
Thank you for that. So bro puts the brown speck tomato slice on my sandwich. See, most people probably wouldn't notice this, but I call it the male graze, you see. I'm grazing.
Touch of gray?
I'm gazing and grazing along the subway line with every decision. And I see this brown speck, and he puts it on my sandwich and he seals it up. And as he's sealing it up, I actually marked the number of inches into the sandwich. I'm like, second tomato, 3 inches in from the right side. I like made a mental note. I'm like, I gotta get rid of that.
Damn.
I have to remove that. It's like when the doctor accidentally leaves his wedding band in your appendix. It's kind of the same vibe.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. And then after I got my sandwich, unwrap it, flip it right side up, immediately come in with for an incision 3 inches from the right side under the second tomato. Sure enough, there was this like chunk of, I think it was a bacon bit.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. It was
That's
some
what it
sort
was,
of crunchy mystery meat had worked its way into my veggie delight.
I did notice that when we sat down to eat, you immediately pulled out a bacon bit from your sandwich. So that was the brown speck.
That was the brown speck.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude.
So you clocked it. Good for you, man.
You got to be watching these guys. They're not paying attention.
How'd you know it was a bacon bit?
Well, it looked like
You ate it.
it had the texture and the color. You know when you see one. It could have been like a
Do they
piece
even
of
have bacon bits?
I don't know, maybe not. Could have been like a giant chunk of Teflon. Who knows?
Yeah. Some cancerous kind of item.
Yeah, a carcinogenic glob. But dude,
Absolutely.
it was dicey in there. You have to be watching. Like if they're not paying attention, they would literally take a dead rat out of a bucket and plop it on your sandwich with like along with the shreddis if they're not paying attention.
Yeah, totally. I agree because my artist was also not paying attention. His ability to kind of suss out like how many vegetables of each kind to put on is like completely out of whack.
Oh yeah.
I think he needs to recalibrate. Like someone's got to do a hard reset on this guy because bro put like 3 tomato slices on my sandwich, but then put like 3 kilos of banana peppers. And I don't know if you remember, Ty, but I was kind of struggling with my sandwich.
There.
I was sweating, dude. It was usually they're not too bad. Like they're, you get a few bites of it. It's not very spicy, but once you've had like 10 slices of them in like 3 bites, you start to question, can I get this again? I'm gonna have to omit these from my order.
You don't want to OD on the BP for sure. And like that's the worst offender as far as too many, because the banana pepper, it's spicy. Like jalapenos are spicy too, but the banana pepper brings that acid. So not only are you burning up, but you got mad heartburn too.
Yeah.
You're heartburning up there.
Totally.
So I was not envious of your situation.
No.
But that artist who skimped you and then blessed you, if you will, that was just his MO. You're right. He needs to recalibrate because the customer in front of me, he had a nose ring and he asked for spinach. That checks out.
He looked like Post Malone. You clock that?
I did actually, yeah. If he was thinner and higher pitched. He's like, can I
way more poor?
Yeah, can I get some spinach? He says. And then the sandwich artist sprinkles like, it's got to be like 6 leaves of spinach on it. And bro, this was the first ingredient to touch down on the bread. So like, it's very obviously there was room for more.
Yeah. Yeah, it was looking sparse.
It was sparse, yeah, dude. It looks like a lawn in Arizona. So yeah, the guy obviously had to advocate for himself. You have to advocate for yourself. More spinach.
Yeah, I think my reflection point today is I need to use more kind of like descriptive words when I'm asking for something. Like I'll take a handful of lettuce or sprinkle some lettuce for me. Those are 2 different things, right? Drop a few olives on there. That's very different from load up the olives, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, you're right. You can imply quantity through language.
Yeah.
Would you ever do just like an exact number? Like, I want 25 olives. Make them count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
They're sandwich accountants now.
You know what? They're so on autopilot that I think they would probably just do it.
Yeah, probably.
And just to like avoid any conflict, they would just like rip through quick 1 to 25, and there you go.
Right. The real math they're doing in their head is like, do I want to like cause a conflict right now or not? Yeah. I mean, if I was an artist, I'd probably do it too. But
you don't want to mess with someone who hates their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
which is why there's so much tension at Subway, because both sides of the sandwich making hate their life.
Exactly.
There's two people that hate themselves trying to work together on something neither of them want.
Neither of us want to be there.
Yeah.
Yet we are here,
Wow.
live and direct.
Dude, that's crazy. I want to comment on the art in the Subway. What I love about the Subway we patron today is that it has all of the classic artifacts, early work of Subway on the wall, beautiful high resolution photos of bell peppers and tomatoes and marinara sauce and bread. And you made an astute observation I want to repeat for the breadheads, which is we could take that.
Is it common use?
Yeah.
Is it artistic free use, you know?
Totally. Like, you're allowed as much like spinach you want. But does that include the picture of the spinach on the wall?
Now we're talking.
Exactly.
Now we're talking.
So I imagine this idea of like an art heist, like someone would do at a gallery Lafayette, or go to the Louvre. But you're just walking in a Subway, taking a picture of their red onion off the wall and walking out with it.
It's still kind of crazy to me because the Subway we go to is stuck in the past. The old branding is alive and well. And I almost like don't want to interfere with it. It's kind of beautiful.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if we take 2 of the 8 posters, like they're going to have to like fill that like that patch on the wall is going to be like brighter than the other spots.
Right.
You know, there's a shadow left behind by art that was.
There's probably literally a discoloration on the faux brick wall from where it was.
The sun faded wallpaper is going to stand out more. So they're going to have to force a rebrand, I think, which would suck for us. Like, we don't actually want that.
No, we wouldn't. Because we might force their gloved up hand a little bit. That would be a tragedy. I just realized, though, there's actually 3 tiers of artwork at Subway, right? There's the 21st century spaceship pictures, which are like your vector illustrations or food styling done by friend of the pod, forget her name, Anna Nicole
Smith,
Kendrick, Anna Kendrick.
No, it's Anna Cavill Joyce.
Anna Cavill Joyce. Thank you. Sorry, Anna, for forgetting that.
Put some respect on it.
It's been a few hundred episodes.
Yeah.
So we have the new age food styling, the modernist approach. Then we have the classic.
I like to call it the surrealist Subway.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It feels surreal to be in there. Then, of course, you have your Renaissance era art form when there was truly a care for craft and photography.
Realism.
Yep, what we experience today. It's a little bit Baroque even, the way that there's like contrast of lighting, macro shots, feels very dramatic.
It's very Caravaggio-esque because the background is almost completely black. And then you have this striking foreground image of a loaf of bread. Yeah. And there's a lot of kind of like dynamism. You know what I mean? Because all the bread are pointing the same direction, like looking like they're going to take off and, you know, blast into the sky.
Dude, an excellent reflection. Like, it really is a mirror image of Caravaggio if it was food porn, or any of the great masters of that era. But there's a third tier, Eric, that we seldom talk about, but you know it when I describe it. It is, you walk into a Subway. Usually it's the C tier Subways. The only art they have is these small square picture frames on the wall, and they have a really wide white like inset and then a really tiny picture of food. And the really tiny
like
picture,
framed like family photograph.
Exactly. And those ones are always completely sun toasted.
I know the one.
Yeah.
I know the one.
I've seen them in multiple Subways. I don't understand this tier. I don't know what kind of era it's even referencing in the art world. Maybe this is the Bauhaus movement. Not really. It's more like the Pollock era where they were rejecting like early, like late Picasso era, you know?
Right.
They're like rejecting the kind of concept of art and just doing stupid shit.
To me, it's kind of like the Y2K era of like
Yeah.
digital art.
Oh yeah. That's
Because
actually
it's
better.
like the first time they attempted anything digital and they didn't know how to, like, it sucks and it just gets destroyed over time, whereas like a painting will last forever.
You're right. Like they used their 1990s corporate Epstein printer to
Yeah.
like make that work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
They didn't know how to like design the museum for light to not destroy the art.
Early prototype days, Y2K Tumblr era.
Yeah.
You know, they're just figuring things out. They're experimenting, and
Mm-hmm.
it's an evidence of that time period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's the weirdest one. And if you find yourself in a subway that has this art, that's a real treat. They're few and far between, but they do exist, and they exist in every city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We need to find a time, probably late in the day, where you get like the graveyard shift guy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the guy who gets the worst shift, minimum wage, doesn't really care about this.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably just let us walk out with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as long as you ask and they say yes, then you can't be legally held.
Yeah, especially if you said something like, "Can I have the bathroom key in that art?"
Mm-hmm.
Then they would say yes.
You just disguise it in your ask.
Work it into the contract in the fine print.
Mm-hmm. Or you say like, "Can I get some marinara photograph?"
Can I have some extra onion picture?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I need a
so
picture.
Damn, what a way to work around that.
Mhm.
That's so funny, dude.
I saw a reel where somebody was at Tim Hortons and he was like, "I'm going to show you how to steal these 3 iPads from Tim Hortons." And he just picks them up and then asks for a bag for them. Like, "Can I have a bag for these 3 iPads? I have too many things." And they just hand him a bag and they bag it for him.
Wow.
Yeah. And he just walks out with it.
Yeah, I feel like that's on them.
That's on them. They bagged it for him.
Yeah. You could totally feign like I assume they were mine.
Yeah.
Huh.
I wonder if you went up to him with one of the bread like photographs and said, "Can I have this wrapped to go?"
Mm-hmm.
What would happen?
I think they would, yeah, they'd be like, I don't think we got big enough, but
Definitely not.
it's a really funny idea. It would be an easy lick. I think that's what we were realizing here.
Mm-hmm. Dude, we are currently witnessing a squirrel run around. What a peaceful sight.
I love recording here. This is so relaxing.
Yeah, you can tell we're not stressed by like a F-350 like destroying my front bumper.
Or like an unhoused person trying to kick your headlight.
Yeah, exactly.
Peaceful here.
So we also it's Friday, obviously,
It
so
is.
we went for a beer
Yes.
after our subway run, and I gotta say, man, spring in the Pacific Northwest is a different animal. I'm feeling so blissed out today, Ty. Like I was driving to work, windows down,
Mm-hmm.
sun was in my face. I can't complain, dude.
Dude, yeah, I'm bliss maxing today. Sitting like against a patio wall, sun beating down on me, cider in my hand,
Mm-hmm.
reminiscing on the good times.
Mm-hmm. We walked up to our. We actually went for a glass of wine, but this natural wine bar doesn't serve wine by the glass until 5, which was kind of a shocker. Didn't love that.
Didn't love that either. I don't like being denied big naturals.
No, I mean it's kind of stupid because they're gonna open the bottle in like an hour.
Yeah, it's like you can have two. They'll have finished half the bottle on just our own accord if they let us.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's bogus.
Bullshit, man.
But we made it through it. We are soldiers who soldiered along,
Mm-hmm.
one glass at a time, and now we're here.
Mm-hmm. We may have lost the battle, but not the war.
That's true.
We were able to have a beer on that same patio.
Dude, speaking of losing battles and winning them, depends which side you're on, something big happened this last couple days.
Oh.
No, I'm not talking about the Shrek 5 trailer. I'm talking about...
You're so Shrek-pilled, it's crazy.
I know. V1 of the Epstein list has now landed in journalists' hands.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried you're going to be on the list?
As a victim?
You tell me, Bo.
No, dude, I'm not on that list, but I'll share one kind of story, Ty. I was taking out the garbage last night.
Okay.
And I had run into one of our caretakers who kind of like cleans up the garbage room in our building. And I kind of chop it up with him. He's a nice guy. We're talking about some NBA basketball, some
Nice.
NFL football, and within 10 seconds of talking about basketball, he pivoted the conversation to the Epstein list. And I was like, whoa, I did not expect to discuss the Epstein flight logs with someone in my building
Like in the elevator
at like 9 p.m. at night on a Wednesday.
Dude, that's just classic male on male banter right there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you exactly how it went there. So we talked about basketball.
Yeah.
Talked about Luka.
Yeah.
Talked about the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, dude, I don't fucking like Mark Cuban at all.
Oh.
And I was like, why? He's like, ever since the prostitution thing.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, I dropped all the garbage I was holding. I was like, tell me more.
Yeah.
And then this guy's like, oh yeah, he was like doing that thing with like Kevin Spacey on the private jet. I was like, what the fuck are you saying, dude? And I was like, you mean the Epstein jet? And he's like, yeah. I was like, dude, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. I just got up out of there, but
dude,
it's kind of weird that it's like become mainstream like entertainment to discuss the child sex trafficking. Like,
this is why men cannot make friends.
I know, dude.
No dude has friends for this reason.
Well, the thing is, like, I just think too many of these weird fringe political news stories have become like mainstream like topics for people to discuss. Like,
it's too accessible.
Yeah, it's like
100% agree.
Like, it's such a horrific story that like it should never really be talked about anymore. Like, people who suffered need to be compensated or whatever.
Yeah.
People who are guilty need to be thrown in jail or killed, and then let's move on. Why are we like? Why am I making small talk about this with my garbage guy?
Yeah, it's really not like it doesn't need to have a place in the court of public opinion because it is the public is largely not affected by it one way or another.
Mm-hmm. But it feels almost like, you know, what are you more excited for? Like the Epstein list drop or like the Cardi album? You know,
right?
It's like people that were like waiting. People had this calendar day marked.
A lot of people have been like, this is their New Year's. This is their birthday.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think they took a page out of like the music industry's book because they're like releasing in phases. They like dropped the single yesterday,
right?
But like the album's to come still, you know. And then
totally.
The deluxe will hit soon after that.
Like a Netflix limited series to break the movie out into three sequels.
Yeah, dude. Love is Blind Part 1 is out. But the Glove is Blind Part 2 will come out later.
The reunion is still coming. Yeah, it is kind of crazy to like trivialize this stuff and just for like meme banter.
I know,
conversation. And then like we are an anti-pedophile podcast. We're anti-cancellation. We're just doing our best to make dog shit comedy on a microphone. And I am totally okay with that. It comes up once in a while. And I always feel bad for just talking about Jared Fogle over and over again, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance that he's on the list.
There's a good chance, actually. That's the right era.
Yeah, it's the right era.
And set of interests. Shared interests,
yeah.
Damn.
No, it's for sure like a possibility. Like, this guy was a superstar, was he not?
He was as big as you can, like, it's like Ronald, like McDonald.
Okay.
And then him was like fast food mascot celebrityism. And I would even say that Fogle was ahead of Ronald for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like if you were a billionaire, would you invite Ronald on your jet?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's kind of freaky.
Yeah, he's kind of scary, actually.
Dude. So this is why corporate mascots can't be real people anymore. That's why like the Duolingo owl is so popular. You know? Mm-hmm. They made the right call there.
They had to kill him off.
He
flew too close to the sun.
Yeah, dude, he's on the Epstein list. They had to kill him.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Whoa. Yeah, what's up with that? What's up with that marketing scheme of like killing the owl?
It's pretty clever. I was following along pretty closely.
I know you were. But why was it so like what is the end goal here? To introduce a new owl? Or was it some kind of like sick OVO joke?
It did fed the streets for a while, dude. I was cooking up all sorts of like conspiracies here. Like maybe they're gonna do a rebrand. Maybe they're gonna like do something crazy when he comes back. And then they just like brought him back a week and a half later. Like, psych, didn't die.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Duo is back on the streets. He's been released.
Huh.
I know him and Tate landed in the US at the same time.
So Duolingo Owl's been pardoned by Uncle T.
Exactly.
Crazy.
And then it just kind of felt like it was all just like one big nothing thing. Like, obviously the whole time it was a corporate marketing story, but then when he came back, I was like, oh yeah, that's all it was. So I wish they killed him off for good, for real.
Damn.
And gave a really, really incriminating reason why, like hard canceled.
Yeah. I mean, I miss the good old days where brands used to just throw up the rainbow profile pic and that was kind of it.
Yeah.
But now they're like, you know, faking the death of their logo.
Yeah, dude.
Like, what the fuck?
Duo's going to get a fucking HBO limited series pretty soon.
Yeah, man. Let's go back to like signaling we care about pride.
Mm-hmm. Corporate pride, I call it.
Yeah, exactly. Do you believe in our mission statement? What is the Think Fresh?
24 inches of inspiration.
Well, that's 12, but
12.
I like how ambitious you were with that one.
Think big, right?
Yeah, dude.
I guess our mission has changed over the years, Eric. I think now we just feed the hearts, minds, and stomachs of our listeners.
It used to be about bringing joy to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's about breaking news stories.
In a way, yeah, we've switched to more of a Daily Mail type of podcast.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff we report on is secondhand from the Daily Mail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could call us the dailymeal.co.uk.
Whoa, yeah, I love that. We should buy that domain if it isn't already co-opted.
Yeah. Well, we can have it redirect to our website.
We should redesign our website to look like the Daily Mail. That'd be pretty funny, like precedent.
We'd probably earn a ton of ad revenue.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's pretty smart, actually.
Yeah. Speaking of ad revenue, if anything we talked about today upset you, make sure to click the BetterHelp link in our description, our paid partner for the episode.
Shout out to BetterHelp for sponsoring Think Fresh. And shout out to you for taking advantage of this 10% off opportunity.
That's right. Breadheads. I have nothing else to talk to you about. So what do you say we close out and get to enjoying the rest of the day?
I love that for us. Thank you, Breadheads, for listening. Think Fresh, everybody. Ciao.